on, yo? Welcome back to Talks with Ty. First, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. All the viewers that show love and that keep showing love, thank you so much. I want to thank the team, and then most of all, my guests. I want to please give a warm welcome to Imani, the designer, straight out of Philly. You know, doing big things. Very known for her line, Pish Posh. How you feeling, Imani?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yes, that's good. You looking good.
Thank you.
You know, you looking great. So that's good. Hey, first, I want to thank you for taking out your time for coming here today.
You're
You know,
welcome.
being on Talks with Ty. You know, I love your line. I love your creativity and what you're doing and stuff like that. It's crazy how I seen your work and I didn't even know it was you. I'm like, this okay? Like, this is dope. So, I kind of want to dive into, you know, a little bit about, you know, how you got started, like, you know, where fashion even, you know, first sparked in you. We can obviously see, we see the creativity, so we know you got that, but where did that all begin for you with, like, you know, just starting out with clothes and you get into that part of like, okay, like maybe I want to try this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so as far as like just wanting to be like a fashion person, I think that started ninth grade.
Okay.
I had like a friend, because I ran track. I had a friend on the track team who like kind of took me under my wing. She was a senior.
Okay.
Her name was Miriam, and she told me about a website called lookbook.nu.
Okay.
It was like a blog website, kind of like Tumblr, but it was more of like UK fashion influencers, like people from overseas, kind of. So it was kind of like ahead of its time.
Okay.
Like you were getting looks before they hit America.
Oh wow, I ain't never.
So
heard
I was
nothing
kind
like
of
that.
always looking into that, and then I just would thrift a lot.
Okay.
That whole wave in high school, but I didn't tap into creating until like 11th grade, where I would just like start manipulating old shoes at like thrift stores and stuff like that,
Okay.
or like clothing, making it different, and it just going like that. Then in college, my sophomore year, like right when sophomore year kicked in, I was like, let me make something and sell it and see how it goes. So I did like one t-shirt, and it sold like literally that night or the very next
Really?
day. Yeah.
Okay, so you knew you had something.
It was like really quick. It was like, and I got the t-shirt from the dollar store, Dollar Tree.
Okay.
Got bleach,
Come
and
on,
I just
innovator.
did like a bleach design on
Okay.
it. And then it sold for $20. Took the $20, went back, got some more t-shirts.
Okay.
Then it just kept going
Innovation.
Like that.
And
yeah.
so that's how it got started for you. Okay, so how did you get to, you know, you embracing that creativity side? Because when it comes to a lot of designers, what I see, I'm not going to say, I don't know, there's similar, you know, designs that I see, but when I see your work and your designs, it's very unique. I see the creativity, I see the thought that you put into it, because I love fashion, so when I see designers and I see things that I've never seen before or work that I've never seen before, that really inspires me. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I love seeing this type of creativity. So tell me like a little bit like how you know, started in that creativity with just like designing some of your pieces and how you got like to know what you wanted to do and how you wanted to get it done.
So in my beginning stage, and it's funny because I hate looking back at that work because I just feel like I started out with the whole like Afrocentric designs,
Yeah.
like drawing black women on shirts and stuff. And I can't believe I did that.
Wow.
But I mean, at the same time, I am like super pro-black,
Okay,
fighting
the
for
people.
literally everything.
Okay.
But I think that was that moment of being similar to other things. Because a lot of black brands do that. Might touch based on melanin type
Do you
designs.
feel like you feel like in the beginning you wanted to did you want to relate to people, or did you want to just
be relatable, but also just be blunt on what I stood for.
I know that's
Because
right. I love
some of
that.
my work was, I think it became big because I was very outspoken on things that mattered. Like when Alton Sterling died, like I created a hat and it was said, I hope I don't get killed for being black today.
You know what? I definitely remember this jacket I seen. It was like some of like the historical people like from like our culture. I'm mad you sold it, but I love that.
I've actually made so many remakes of that because
Really?
people always a guy just hit me up like 2 weeks ago, asked me to remake it. But
Okay.
people are always asking me to remake that specific jacket too. And like even like for Black History Month, I always try to do like those like Black History unique designs and stuff. But overall, as far as when I got past that stage of just being specifically that, because I had a friend, he was like my next door neighbor, but he was also on the track team too in college. He was like, you want to like broaden your market.
I love that. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna create things where all people could really buy it, but I'll still tap in and do my little side things on specific collections.
Okay.
But when it came to the creative process, I don't know. I just like stuff that's like off the wall that's like nobody ever has done. You know how sometimes they be like, oh, there's always been something that's been done before. I like really thinking of stuff that hasn't been done before. Like I say like 2-3 months ago, I created a Dickies jacket, but I used balloon, like the foil from a balloon to create like the letter design on it. And I don't think nobody done that before.
So like, where do you think you get your creativity from? I love how you're just so uniquely and just authentically you and just create. Like, where do you feel like you get that from?
I just be thinking of random stuff like, could I use now to make something completely different? But also another thing, and when I tell people this, it's so funny. A lot of times I could be like sleep and I might have a dream of like like things flashing, like pictures and stuff, and I'll just wake up in the middle of the night and write it in my notes and then do it later.
Wow.
Like one of my recent designs, it's called like Frequency. It's like different, like a colorway of like different body women figures. It's kind of like really dope because I do like different. I would say it's more like an art form of them like dancing. Okay. But it's really, really dope. And I did it on like a Telfar bag. I did it like my own Pish Posh collection drop of those bags. And they went kind of crazy. But how that design came to mind is I literally dreamt it. Like I seen like body women figures like colored and stuff.
Wow, to me that just sounds like
like
no, it sounds like that's a meaningful like purpose for you. Whereas though like if that's coming to you naturally like that, that's a spiritual thing where you're living out, you know, through you. Like I love that for you though. What I was about to ask was like, so how does it in the beginning? In that process, did you have the support in the beginning? Like, how was that process in the beginning when you starting out a brand? And although you sold your one shirt, like, how was that process of starting that? Like, just coming out there?
Right away.
Right away?
I think it was because I went to HBCU.
Oh, period.
Like, right away, it was like, anything I do, it's going to get support.
I love that.
Literally. And that was really dope. Because even at the time that I started, I'm at my school, but I used to be like, I would say, antisocial just to myself more. Okay. And I only hung with athletes. Okay. In my first year I was in an apartment. I wasn't on campus, so I didn't really get to meet a lot of people in my class. So I would, put a lot of the success behind just being at HBCU because although I didn't know people, once it came to light that, oh, there's a brand on campus, everybody wanted to wear it. Okay. And I just started doing like little pop-up shops in front of the caf. Okay. And it'll be like lines of people like wanting to shop and stuff. And yeah, that's just literally how it grew. Like, and then just off of it being at a school and you got so many people from different states, like DC and people from LA or people from Atlanta and stuff. That's how it like really spread it out.
Okay. What school did you go to?
North Carolina A&T.
Oh my God. I always wanted to go to that school. The reason why is because one of my role models, Tyrone G, went there. Yep. So like me knowing that or like him being that role model for me, like I was like, I'm so head on about like following the formula or whatever. I'm even trying to go to the same school, you know what I mean? Right. But do you feel like school added, a value onto who you are as a person? Because a lot of times people say like you don't really need school, and taking your entrepreneurial route, do you feel like school was necessary? Do you feel like it added to you? Like what?
Definitely on the aspect of meeting new people to gain different, like,
so the connections.
Yeah, connections and stuff like that. I think if I would have just got out of high school, just started a brand in Philly, I think it would have probably been a little different. I think my mental space would have been different. Yeah, I think it was very vital to making sure. And I just was talking to Drew last night about, like, if I would have went to PWI, then I know the brand would have probably not have been what it was. So even, if I didn't go to school at all, I know it wouldn't have been what it was. I mean, I feel like I'm very good at creative directing or marketing, so I would have got it to love, but it probably would have been a slower process.
Wow. Okay, so shout out to A&T.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was going to ask you, what is one of the most key things you learned taking this entrepreneurial route of just like starting your own brand and stuff like that? Like, was it hard for you in the beginning?
It really wasn't hard. I think I learned like quickly. Like, I was willing to like listen to everybody that was giving me input. Like I said, my neighbor, there was like a few older guys on the track team that had a company, a tech little app that they created.
Okay.
And I would they were the first people I went to, like, how do I start a website? How do I get the money to transfer this way? Like, what do I got to set up a PayPal. Oh, how can you help me? They helped me design my business cards. Literally, I used the resource that I had, which was my neighbors. It was so funny. Even when it came down to what's good ways to market, getting me on, like, they like literally set me up. Like, I was on panels, like, with other business owners, not just on campus, but like in that city. Or just connecting me with so much stuff, like literally telling me all the ins and outs on how to run a brand, and just to get it to expand.
I love that. I really love that for you. When you go into your creative aspect and stuff like that, you start to dream about certain things, you think about certain things, like, does each piece, do you create it by one? Are you doing them in bulks? Like, how are you doing this? Because I love just how uniquely your pieces are made. So, you know what I mean? Are you in the work mode where you putting them one by one? How is this creative space for you?
So it depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Okay.
I'm really good at, if I really want to get a lot done, I could.
Okay.
Like, one night, this was like 3 years ago, I did like 100 hats in one night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when I did my last sweatsuit drop, I really knocked out like a bunch in a day.
Wow.
I'd say probably like 15 to 20. And then it's all hand painted stuff, so it takes a little more time. But I really mastered the brush. Like, I can literally do something really quick. But as far as my more detailed pieces, they may take like 3 to maybe 8 hours, depending on how detailed I want to get with it.
Wow.
But then, of course, I'll have to price up on it. But I'm in this phase where it's like I want more people to have it, but I also want to be expensive. So I'm doing cheap stuff some days, and then I'll do my detailed stuff, which I call my one-of-one stuff. Like, you want that, something that nobody else is going to have, then you can get that too.
Have to pay for that. Yeah. No, I love that. What makes you want to, go that unique route of just like creating those individual pieces?
People like stuff that other people don't have. That's like
That's
everybody's nature. Everybody like, I want some stuff that nobody else got. So I feel like I like the one-on-one thing, and I really sometimes I don't like recreating something the same because it's not natural. Sometimes I could just freestyle something, like just not have no idea what I'm about to do and just be doing stuff.
Yeah.
So then when you try to make me recreate it, then it's like not really the same. But I can do something similar and just make it a remix of whatever it was, and it could still be like a unique one-on-one.
Oh, I love that. I feel like I need a piece. It's like I gotta go through the collection and see if I can, give me, because that jacket you made with the like historical piece, like the people from like our past and our culture and stuff like that. I love that so much because for me, our culture means a lot. Like, this is why I feel like I'm taking a step of just highlighting just like people like you who's just doing something and just making it happen for us, and just actually doing something positive. You starting something, you creating it, and you doing it. And for me, that's so big. Did you have any like inspirations going into this like space into your life, or does it like?
I've had a few.
Okay.
Just it's always changing out.
Okay.
So many people inspire me, really. I would say Milano inspired me.
Really?
I
love
just
that.
love, like, her consistency regardless of negative stuff that made me drawn to her.
I love that.
She really just like, I'm gonna win regardless of what y'all saying.
Yeah, she definitely got
and
that.
I really do love her. And I mean, I've never met her, but just what she puts out in the world is like dope.
No, I love that.
Like, it's not just buy my stuff. Some things be helpful, like business tips, or the Womaneer Club that she created. Or even the Momaneer one that she has now. It's so many things. But I used to really be inspired by Damon John too.
Okay.
I met him at A&T because he had did like a spin-off Shark Tank HBCU edition, and I got picked to pitch to him.
Really?
So that was somebody I like met, had a conversation with, got his book and stuff. And I used to, even before then, I was DMing FUBU like 2 years before he even came to my campus, and I'm like, y'all should let me creative direct FUBU and bring it back. And then they, boom, a year or two later had dropped the collab with Urban Outfitters, and now they're popping again. But I was already pressing that. But he's always inspired me because if you know his story, he was like kind of how I felt when I was on campus trying to get people to buy the stuff in front of the caf. He was like going around to people's houses, knocking on doors, like selling his hats or standing in front of like supermarkets when he first started.
If you weren't in Philly, what's another city that you would want to be in? Or like, do you want to move out of Philly one day? Where
I've
would
just
you
been thinking about it lately because I'm just like, it's not working right now. But I was thinking LA.
I love
LA or Atlanta.
Girl,
All my friends always talk about LA. They always be like, if your stuff was out there, do you know what you would be doing?
Yeah.
But I've shipped to LA a lot.
Really?
Too. Yeah. I've shipped to LA a lot.
I feel like Atlanta is good because, you know, for us, they winning out there.
Right. So, yeah, I just like the whole, it being like that black city that you know is just growing with all this black culture and businesses and stuff like that. And I used to live in Stone Mountain.
Really?
Which is like 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. Okay.
And I love that you are always just highlighting black, you know, culture. Like, why is that important to you?
Because we are like great.
No,
like, really.
Why is it like, why do you want to get that message out? I feel like
people probably think I obsess over like just black things. That's all I talk about. Like,
right. As you
what
should,
black people
though.
are doing, or like what our history is, who we are, where we come from, stuff like that. Like, that's like very vital to me. Also because a lot of people don't know it's like a history erased. So it's important to teach. And I feel like because I've gained so much knowledge, I just want to spread that, because a lot of people don't know nothing of anything, of like where they come from or what's valuable. I've had people tell me just through conversations that we should get over certain things because it's been so many years. But to say that means you don't understand the history and importance of what's what within our culture for you to say that. Yeah. But if you had more knowledge on it, then you would be more proud, or like really stand on, like, I guess, things that was within us.
Yeah, no, for real. I feel like a lot of people talk just uneducated about things, but I feel like the main problem is people just really don't care. Right. That's what it comes down to.
And it bothers me because I'm such a caring person.
Like, yeah.
I'm like I can't. That's why I tell people, like, you gotta stand for something, or you fall for anything. Yeah, and it's like that's me.
But your circle is important too, because having that type of energy around you can really, it can have an effect on you. Do you keep like a tight, like what's the friends group looking like for Imani? Like, is it giving like 2 or 3 friends same night all the time?
And I have friends, I feel like, for different moments. Like, I have my artsy friends, I have my like hood friends, I have like my like college friends. I have a lot of different friends. But as far as my like real top friends that I can literally call them for me, they could call me for anything, and we are literally like that elevating team. It's 2 guy best friends. One's named Baron, one's named Sam.
Okay, shout out.
And I have a lot of female friends too. And majority of my friends, they do have business too, so we always like promoting and sharing each other's stuff. I
love that.
One of my friends, good friends here in Philly, her name is Imani. She's a model. She does makeup. She's about to drop like some t-shirts, but we always like chatting about or giving suggestions of like oh, you should do, like, if we're concerned or worried about something, like, not doing, we'll make suggestions. Oh, well, you should do this to make this, better. But as far as my circle, I feel like it's really good, because, some people really won't have the help. And, I see a lot of posts of people complaining, like, oh, if you don't get your family or your friends to support you, stuff like that. But I feel like my experience has been a little bit different. Like, when it came to my shows and stuff, I literally had, like, a friend of mine who flew down from Philly to come be with me for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Building up to planning the show.
I love that for you.
Like, she literally dropped everything and was like, I'm going to come down there and help.
We need more friends like that. Mm-hmm. We need more friends like that. But it seems like you coexist with a lot of different people. What's your sign?
Libra.
Okay. Libras, I heard. It could be interesting.
We are amazing. Libras, we like balance.
What's your favorite sign to be, like, friends-wise? Then what's your favorite sign to be
I feel like I don't really know about a lot of other signs. I feel like Libras are the best.
Libras?
And it's sad because I know everybody probably thinks that about their sign, but in all actuality, when you look at Libra's characteristics, like,
no, I mean, I can, from your energy alone, I can tell it's very just, like, genuine and loving and just free and open. So I love it. Maybe I just haven't came into the right Libra. I don't know.
Like my friend Yanni, I have a lot of Libra friends in Philly. Like,
really?
Majority of us are Libras. It's so funny. That's how I just know I just love Libras. I have another friend named Imani. I believe, she's a Libra. My friend Eris, she's a Libra. Yanni's a Libra. I have a lot of Libra friends.
Okay.
We're just amazing.
Maybe it's giving Libra Nation. I don't know. But what's like a tip you can give somebody, starting out their brand, like how you started out, like, even in school, outside of school, just that whole process of just beginning it, seeing it through. What key elements should they, like, do or have?
I think I want to touch base on probably something that I didn't think of, rather than something that made me more successful. Okay. Was the whole, I guess, like, literally mapping out a plan. I never really pressed to have a business plan, so I feel like me just going off, oh, I'm gonna hustle. Mm-hmm. It was all, every time I make something, I'm putting it back into the brand. Mm-hmm. And some things weren't beneficial for the brand, I would say. Like, I feel like I was just probably splurging just to create more, and it wasn't always good business decisions.
Really?
So I think if people more had a plan, but you could still be more free, because I still promote the, like, going with the flow, because I feel like a business plan could also structure you to a tight thing where you might miss out on opportunities.
So explain, like, what was that business plan for you that you created for yourself?
No, so I really didn't create one. Mine was more of just going with the flow. Just, I'm going to do whatever comes
my way.
Yeah. And I was doing it. It was beneficial, but on a business aspect, I feel like it wasn't, because I feel like I didn't know, like, saving. I didn't know that, rather than spending all my money, I could just be doing credit.
Yeah.
And, like, that could be funding it, and I could be paying it back and building it, like, heavily. I feel like I didn't know. And I was studying pre-law, so I didn't really have, I should have took business or whatever. I mean, I took a few business law classes, but it wasn't any much that could give me much knowledge on how to really structure a business. And I think I just was so more carefree of being, because I'm an artist, I wasn't thinking full, like, corporate type vibe. But I would tell people to be more hands-on on knowing all details. Like, you could know what you want to do. Like, say if a girl wants to sell hair, oh, you think you gotta have this type of hair, but think of all things outside of that, like structure.
Yes.
Like, what specific marketing tools you gonna do, where you gonna put money, how much you might put into that, how much you might put into, like, getting your first few, like, I guess, prototypes of it before you selling. Just stuff like that. I just feel like because we don't have that knowledge and it's not taught to us in, like,
that's
grade
for real.
school, like it should be.
Like, it's like, where do we even find it until, like, you come to a place that you have conversations with people or something really. Like that.
Because if I knew that I could have had a business, I would have, when MySpace was popping, I would have had my business running. I would have been customizing stuff and doing it then, but I don't even feel like I understood that I could go on the internet and make a website at that age until I really got to college.
Yeah. So, like, do you feel like maybe I get that a lot of us don't really have like the support, not like support, but just guidance or role models in our lives. So at that time, you like family, you didn't have nobody to really talk to about business stuff, or
No, not really. My mom, she worked at a hospital for like 20 years.
okay,
Oh, well, my dad. Actually, I'm
okay,
lying. My dad, he literally has done so many different types of businesses. It's so crazy. Like, he's a good, like, marketing conscious of just
maybe
how
that's
to
where you get
there.
your like
Yeah.
that.
I do give him credit,
Yeah.
like, on certain things. I'd be like, oh, yeah, because he's really, like, I would say us. Or, like, he literally can, like, take $1 and make 1,000.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's probably where you might get that hustler mentality from. You probably get it like a little bit from him, because it's like you naturally just have that type of just energy, that go get it type of attitude, and a lot of people don't know how to grasp that or even understand or know the difference between a worker mindset and I want to get my own and have my own mindset type of thing. You know what I mean? But I'm happy that you were able to find that for you. What's your goals you see for Pish Posh? Where you trying to take it? You know what I mean? Because you mentioned LA, which I would love to see. If you out there doing shows, I need a little invitation. But like, what's the goals for?
Speaking of that, I actually was supposed to do a street fashion week show in LA, but it got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah.
But I want a gallery.
I love
one
that.
thing I just been thinking about the other day, I was just watching YouTube videos on how to get my art pieces to sell for like 20K and how to get in art galleries. I'm just trying to learn knowledge on that, because even with that, I don't even know where to start. I'm good at creating, I'm good at painting, but I don't even know the business side of that. So that's what I'm trying to do now, learn it so I can tap into that world more, because I started painting in the first grade. I've always been doing canvas artwork. Clothes started in college, so I want to really do that as well too. And like Pish Posh is not just just the clothing line; it's the canvas art too. It's all things creative.
Oh wow!
I feel like, because I can go get called up for like somebody's video shoot. Oh, can you style or can you help me come up with a concept? And I do that kind of heavily too.
Wow!
And I think that's all kind of the umbrella under the brand. Like I can literally give you anything great, even with visuals.
So you just all around creative. Like what's all the creative like aspects you do? Just to put it out, so you design clothes, you paint, you know what I mean?
Style, creative direct,
wow.
And then the visuals. I literally love commercials. Like I love creating eye-catching ads for people. And for most of my commercials I've ever dropped, it's always been me. Like behind like how I wanted it, laid it out, even filming. And I do most of it on my phone or my iPad, but I make it come together and it'll go crazy. But yeah, my main goal is I really, really want a gallery. And now it wouldn't be just a gallery, it would probably be like an artsy store. I like how Urban Outfitters is set up.
I love how Urban Outfitters is
set up. So I want something
expensive
like that.
for no reason. Like,
I do have like a few little collabs coming up. One is with another girl brand here. She sells pocketbooks. Her name's Shadiva Co.
Okay.
And Spurgo. I've been talking to his mom for like a few years now. We've always been talking about collabs, but I was away, but then I'm finally back. And I think I've been dragging my feet a little bit coming up with the concept, but that's something that I'm going to definitely put in the works ASAP. And yeah, just getting bigger. I do want to push my celeb clientele up more. It's been a little stagnant. I haven't really worked with anybody.
Is there any celeb that you will want to see, in your clothes, or any collabs that you would want to happen?
I feel like the ones I've got it on is like they're not really fashion head people. Okay. So somebody I really want it on that I know is the fashion is Rihanna.
I can see your stuff on Fab too.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like Fab would really like style it well. You know what I mean? Chris Brown, I can for sure see it on. You know what I mean?
Maybe Uzi.
Oh, Uzi for sure.
He be like wearing all this off the wall stuff, and I feel like my stuff is off the wall. Sometimes guys always ask me if this is for guys, and I'm like, yeah.
No, I feel like, and that's another thing. Like, I love how you're, there's no sex to your clothes. It's just creative, and I love that. Like, is that one of the goals that you wanted to like go for? Where it's like, although it's a men piece, it might have a flower on there, or it might have like a little like, detail, like a pearl or whatever, but like, why is that important for you to not even worry more so about the sex, but more so the creativity?
Well, I do actually take opinions of guys.
Okay.
Like, I'll be like, how would you
Would
wear
you wear it?
this?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Because first I started with rhinestones and stuff. And guys started wearing them heavy. Then I was like, I want to do something different because a lot of brands I've seen in Philly kept using rhinestones too. So I'm like, let me do something different. And then that's when I did the pearl thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, guys wear pearls? Because, they think of a woman that has like a set of pearls on. But I've gotten them to wear it. Yeah, so I just feel like it's just all in how I market it. Mm-hmm. What I did with that is I hit up one of the Philly rappers, Lights, and I got him to shoot in the Dickies jacket that had the flowers and the pearls on it. So then when everybody seen it, oh yeah, I need that joint too. Like, right. People so funny.
I love that.
So that's another thing I'm great at marketing. I know how to like get people's eye and like literally push stuff. I'm really, really good at that. I guess another advice I like to tell people is Instagram Live is very like, take advantage of social media. One night, it was like a random night in college. I'm like, oh, I gotta get my rent up together. I had not worked for some time, like 3 weeks. I was like away. And I was like, you know what, let me do an Instagram Live and auction stuff off, old inventory. And I did it. And I made like $1,000 there in one night off of Instagram Live.
Wow.
And that like was really dope because it's like, we really could just make money anytime we want. Like it's so many opportunities out there.
Name like 3 key things they should have: marketing, a business plan.
Yeah, and I think also personal characteristics matter too, because some people may not like my designs, but they may want to buy stuff just because they like me.
Yeah, I feel like I know I would. Like, because the energy is so genuine. The energy is so genuine, and I love that. And I thank you so much for coming here, just being just so, open and so giving with all of just like your learning and everything, your story and everything, and all of that. So I appreciate all of that. Let the people know where they can follow you,
So my Instagram is the Pish Posh Girl, and the business page is Pish Posh World. My website is pishposhworld.com. And yeah, you can shop from there. I have if you sign up for the email, you get 30% off. It pops up right on the website. And yeah, look for more to come.
More to come. I'm gonna be waiting
dropping more stuff.
Okay, when is the next drop?
I got new sweatsuits dropping actually. My detaching sweatsuit is about to drop in 4 new colors.
Okay, so what colors you got going? Because I feel like I need about
yellow, red, purple, and orange is the new colors. But I did tan was my first color.
Okay, I feel like that orange might be popping. I feel like orange might get my skin tone or something. Might do something. So we're gonna talk about that. But yes, again, thank you so much for your time, Imani. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Y'all already know. Make sure y'all subscribe. Everything will be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and yeah, we're gonna keep it locked. And I'll see y'all next time.